Welcome to the Jowls of Justice with Droopy McGobbler. Okay, now we have a disclaimer here that must be read by the producer, which is me, at the beginning of each show, which is this. Welcome to the Jowls of Justice. My name is Droopy McGobbler, and I'm the producer of this show. The things you will hear over the next hour represent the views of Jowls of Justice and the people making them. All opinions and quotations in no way represent River West Radio and are the sole responsibility of the producer, guests, and callers. River West Radio is not liable for any legal issues arising from the content of this program. I'd also like to add my own disclaimer that Droopy has been certified to be sane by your very own Milwaukee County Mental Health Department, as well as independent experts. So if anything that you're about to hear seems crazy, you think, wow, that crazy guy just said something crazy, then you know what? You're probably right. With that said, let's hear what issues forth from the Jowls today. It's July 4th, right? Good, nice holiday. Luckily, not too much trouble yet. We'll see. 100 degrees. That's, global warming is great in the winters, but I'm not sure if this summer business is global warming related. I might actually have to become one of those nature nerds. But the eco geeks, the ones who actually think that pulling a trailer full of burning coal that was lit with crude oil down the highway behind a diesel burning pickup truck, right, isn't something awesome to do. Well, you know what? It is something awesome to do. The only thing you shouldn't burn to make the earth a worse place every day, is a flag. See why this can't reflect other people's views, right? Because some of the other people whose views this doesn't reflect probably do burn flags. No, just kidding. They're against air pollution. But like I said, I'm for it. At any rate, though, so I was just on for a couple minutes at the tail end of, or about one question worth, really, at the tail end of breaking down the news, I think it was. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to set up the camera. Yeah, I think that's what I was just on. Breaking down the news. An American Patriot comes on after me, and I am, for those who can't see, and for those who didn't hear, walking around with two of those American flags that you stick in your garden, sticking out of the shoulders of my shirt. All right, and as I just said a little bit ago, that is because I say if you don't like America, then you can get out. But he started to ask me about illegal immigration. And I have, as I've said on this very program, big problem with illegal immigration, right? And the illegal immigrants, the illegal aliens, in fact, not the Mexicans, right? Not those, not the Canadians, not the Irish, not the French Guianan, and not even the Swiss. Although I say they're persistently, those illegal Swiss, a problem in this country, in this state. But anyhow, no, we should band together with all of those illegal aliens to fight against the illegal space aliens, to get rid of them, because they come from Jupiter. Do you know how far away that is? Do you know how difficult it would be to deport them? A $750 billion rocket or something per, family of them? All right. And I could keep going on with this forever. But for those of you who have tuned in before, right, which should be everybody, if you're just listening to me for the first time, then you have missed the boat on being cool, unless you go back and listen to every single one of my previous episodes, and then do all the things that I caution against against doing, and all the things that I tell my listeners not to do and not to try at home. Right? If you try those, then you could be cool. But other than that, my regular listeners, the cool ones, will know that I'm not actually on about illegal space aliens all the time. Right? That I'm not a real-life alien shouter. Right? It's something I do on the bus once in a while for fun. It's like setting up fake construction sites and all that sort of stuff. But You know, it's just something for fun. And I've been cautioned, though, interestingly enough, by several people that, hey, you know, with that alien shouting you do, you know, be careful you don't turn into a real alien shouter. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, sure. All right. But I suppose there might be a point. I suppose if I do that enough, if I spend enough time alien shouting, right, and I talk to enough people and try, because I get into my pranks, I get into my jokes, and I get into my routines. And if I try to convince enough people that, you know, put enough effort into that there are illegal aliens from outer space sneaking past our 63-mile boundary every day, right, then who knows? I could start believing it. Or who else knows? The aliens could be listening to this and be like, and now then be thinking, ooh, that Earth planet? That sounds like they got some lax immigration laws. Let's go sneak in there, take some jobs, commit a few crimes, not get some documentation, you know, not get our spaceship insurance, crash some shit, some stuff up, and just leave, so on and so forth. But I don't think I'm going to become an actual alien shouter. I think I'm a little, just a little now, mind you, but a little more grounded in reality than that. But sometimes pretending to be a little crazy can get you out of stuff. You know, I've actually used the alien routine on somebody from around here. All right, somebody that I acted like a butthead, and I didn't, you know, and I didn't feel like seeing this person or particularly, you know, interacting with them anymore. But unfortunately, it's somebody in the neighborhood. So, you know, eventually I encountered him again, and I really did not want to talk. So I just started doing the illegal space aliens routine. All right? And he thinks that I'm an actual alien shouter now, who sometimes is locked up in mental, right, when he hasn't seen me for a while, and sometimes is running around shouting about aliens and illegal space aliens and so on, and sometimes it, oh heck, what was I saying here? Yeah, at any rate, I pretended to be a real alien shouter. And who cares? You know, this guy's a neighborhood idiot. What does he, you know, what do I care if he thinks I'm a neighborhood wacko? You know, but then sometimes it really comes in handy to be that clever. Because a while ago, you know, I was, well, there were a lot of fireworks last night. There have been a lot of fireworks the last week. And honestly, right, as much fun as they are to shoot off when you're a kid, and as much as you have sort of limited access to whatever you can get, right, so you tend to get a preponderance of black cats and those sort of things, and bottle rockets, right, as opposed to the big ones, the Class A's, the M80s, all those sorts of things. You know, some of them, I've been hearing those things going off, and it's not that it bothers me so much in terms of being obnoxious, it's that I hear a lot of sounds that sound suspicious, right, and this is Milwaukee, and I've heard enough fireworks that sounded enough like shots to know that some of them were shots, right? But nobody ever wants to admit that they heard shots, because then, you know, you don't know who's around, right? If the person you're asking what did that sound like, right, is actually the one who fired the shots, any of that, you don't know if you know, you'll have to talk to the cops, any of that kind of stuff. So most people really just decide to not be a good citizen and, you know, say, no, didn't hear anything. Nope, yep, definitely fireworks, yeah. Well, I was walking around, I was a few blocks west of here. You know, I wasn't at something like 4th and Center, but maybe North and Palmer or something, right, first. But at any rate, though, so I heard a couple shots, and I heard a couple shots back, and it was a reasonable distance away, and I was thinking, oh, geez, you know, beautiful. Hopefully I don't get stopped by any cops canvassing to ask me what's going on. And there's this guy walking along. This is late at night. And I stupidly said, hey, does that sound like, what'd that sound like to you? And he said, why? What'd you see? And I thought, okay, great, I see where this is going, And I said, I didn't see anything, but I know what I heard, and I heard a bunch of kids playing with fireworks. And before he got a chance to say anything, I kept going. I launched into it. And the kids and their damn fireworks. And they got those big bangers and M80s and black cats and Jiminy crickets and bottle rockets and string them all together, and they're shooting them off, making a racket. Ought to be in school, because this was a couple months ago. This was still, school was in session. And I kept going. And the guy, I don't know, he might have said have a good night or something. But I kept going, and I was talking about how they were skateboarding and the damn kids in the skateboards, right, and having their pants falling down and listening to stupid music and tossing chip wrappers on the ground and candy bars, right, and then back to the fireworks and the kids zooming by on their skateboards, tossing M80s behind them, right. And so this guy, of course, ignored me and moved along, thinking I'm just some harmless crazy. Wrong on both counts, in fact. But at any rate, yeah, that probably got me out of a sticky situation just pretending to be a little wacky. I might have hammed it up a little bit. I think I went on for a good 10 minutes about the M80s and the Roman candles and pointing them at each other, and how the kids don't say please and thank you, and they shoot off fireworks that they get in Canada, right, and so on and so forth. And in fact, there were a couple people standing outside of a bar near me the other night, a few nights ago, and I heard, what again was not fireworks and was obviously shots. And I went I went up to these two ladies and I said, hey, was that, sounded kind of suspicious before, was that fireworks? Heard before or what? And they said, oh, yep, that's fireworks. And I was just asking her the same thing, and we decided, you know what, it's fireworks. And I was like, yeah, well, the kids must have gotten themselves some serious fireworks in Canada and Illinois, right? And it turned out that those were the shots that killed that guy who just got robbed up there a couple days ago. So there you go. The moral of the story, I think, is that, if you think somebody is sketchy after you might have heard shots or not, then yell at them until they go away about skateboards on the sidewalk and black cats and bottle rockets being set off by kids with droopy pants and bad language. And that'll get you out of any potential trouble. That's a good moral of the story. I like that moral of the story. You know why? Because it doesn't make me have to do anything different. Not now, and not any other time unless this comes up again. So, at any rate, we're going to take a quick break for words from our sponsors, Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds and Liggett and Marshall, all right, and so on and so forth. Namely, a word from their products into my lungs. Aroo. But seriously, though, kids, don't smoke. This is the only negative or depressing thing I'm going to say on the air, but they don't need to show any of that hyped up anti-smoking stuff. Just listen to this one. If you start smoking now, then whether you ever quit or not, it will be the first thing you want in the morning and the last thing you want at night for the rest of your life every day. So I'm going to go smoke one. Peace for about 5. Can you put the coin, sir? I'll be it now.